Fleming was dealt with after she got rid of the footy. Look at Hawthorn overlap. The kick's into the path of Greta Bodie. She's a finisher normally, but not that time.
I love watching Jazz Fleming go about it. As she kicked it, was just slightly late with the bump there, but I mean, how's her pace out of the contest and just her football IQ then, just to take the advantage then? We've seen her run and bounce it a couple of times already, Rubes, and I mean, she's just an exciting player.
Daisy Darcy, again with the kicking duties, but this time it's coming straight back to where it started. Kick goes into the pocket. Gervin thought it was out of play. Hawks keep playing through and keep surging towards goal. Push off. Could have potentially been paid a free kick. Gervin, some work to do now in defence. Bella handballs to the boundary line. They just can't get this ball over the Suns. Kievert's kick smothered. Ricochets back into a dangerous area. Rowbottom closed the space down and the tackle lingered a little too long. Free kick to the Hawks.
Well, this is what the Suns have to be careful of, is just sloppy free kicks, and it's something that the Hawks will definitely take advantage of. As we see here, you've just got to be careful there, holding onto the tackle a little too long, and they'll kill them in the end. If there's too many of those, it could be the difference between blowing out a margin and the Suns being able to stay in striking distance.
So from almost directly in front, early for the Hawks first. Look at the breeze, grab that ball and swing it violently across the face of goal.
I just want to talk about Matea Breed's run then. She had the initial inside 50 on that play, but the follow-up play, I think she had a dirty don't argue somewhere in there, landed someone on their back. But she is someone who, we speak about underrated midfielders, she is growing with every game, and it might be with the people that she's learning off in there. She's got so much experience to learn off, but she is such a strong midfielder, really exciting to watch.
They bat so deep in the midfield. And Bodie flicks a handball to Lucas Rod. Little left foot kick into the pocket was clever. Strong mark from McDonough. She wants to move it on quickly, and that'll be okay to Bates.
This is where the Hawks can expose the Suns, is their ability to get forward and move in transition post that first stoppage and be able to be lost in transition. It's somewhere the Hawks are really good at.
A tricky breeze to this end of the ground. And it's swirly as well. It's a bit of a guessing game.
It'll probably be one of the most difficult pockets to kick goals from today, especially for a left footer, but I mean, it just shows the diversity in their forward line and the amount of numbers that are willing to push forward and have opportunity to have shots on goal. We saw it last week against Geelong for Hawthorn, but they go again today.
Nice clearance from Bella. Got it down to McLaughlin and gets it away from the defensive area. Membry links up with Alamora. This build-up has been pretty precise from Gold Coast so far. Smith, left foot kick, but Hannah camped under it. Didn't quite judge the ball coming in.
I've loved to see that ball come to the fat side wing. They had Fullerton by herself on the fat side, and rather than going down the line to Hawthorn's numbers, I think if they are able to use that and be composed with their ball movement, they're going a lot deeper inside 50.
Fleming for disposal number 5 early on. Kicked her first career goal last week against the Cats. Looks for Wales. West was the right place for a crummer, right at her feet. Kicks into space in the pocket. McDonough bends down and picks it up. Brilliant kick. Put it right into the path of Michaela Williamson. That is phenomenal.
What a build-up that was by Hawthorn. Just great composure with the intercept mark initially by Kemp. And then they take their time with the kick mark down the ground. And then this play here by McDonough. Just real good composure, great vision. And I mean, Williamson, just that winger role that she's been able to play this season's been exceptional and finds herself into a great spot, running into an open goal, kicking Hawthorn's first for the game.
And Michaela Williamson, who grew up just around the corner from where this game's being played tonight. Played a junior footy at the Pines Footy Club and picked number 17 in last year's draft. Kicks her second goal, but that was put on a platter for her.
Absolutely, and it all came from Anya McDonough. So when she's not kicking them, she's setting up her teammates.
The Hawks are starting to get things going now. The Suns kick the first of the game. There's Gilroy. Just too fast, ran away from Lauren Ballot. The pace of these Irish players and the way they can kick the ball long from one end to the other like that. The Irish combination ends with McDonough.
Well, this is where it spells danger for the Suns. We spoke about it, the Hawks, they're pretty good in that secondary stoppage when that ball spills out of that initial stoppage, and for Gilroy just tapping it along, she knew she had the pace, just kept it in front of her, gave it to her Irish counterpart, beautifully weighted, and this is the danger. We see Fitzpatrick just get front of Anya McDonough, probably there you need to take back shoulder and stop that out the back run.
Anya McDonough moves to equal second in the goal kicking table for the year. Taylor Smith from the Lions leading the way, but this is starting to really look good for the Hawks. Just talk to us, Ali, about the space that Hawthorn allow inside their forward line and allow their forwards to come and go.
I mean, it's their half forwards push right up the ground, so it allows their numbers or their space all the way out the back. So they've got clear space inside their 50 to run into.
Bella pumps this ball long. Didn't get out the back. Stanton was waiting for it. Lucas Rod bottles that footy up. As the wind has picked up a little bit in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Membry dispossessed. Strong tackle from Matea Breed.
Yes, that was great work by Breed because she took Charlie Rowbottom through the stoppage then, bodied her out the way and then followed up with that great tackle. I mean, these are some of these things that these Hawthorn mids are producing week after week, allowing turnovers to happen and get some ball movement happening their way.
Tamara Smith along the boundary line. Clever kick to Caitlin Ashmore. 75th game is coming up on Sunday against the Dockers. It's fisted out of bounds.
Just having a good season, Caitlin Ashmore. A lot of the Hawks' ball movement is coming through her on the wing. She's been able to find a lot of space, and I think a lot of it's credited to the Hawks defenders' ball movement and their patience with her ability to switch the ball and find her in space, but she's been really impressive.
Is that where so much of their attack comes from, Rubes, between Lucas Rod and Ashmore off half-back?
Absolutely. While we look at Jazz Fleming, she must hold the record for running bounces.
That's 2. The third was on for a second, but Wallace Randall bobbed up out of nowhere.
You know what? We don't mind that. We love seeing people take on the game. Get caught once, doesn't matter. Continue to do it.
Amora kicks deep. Numbers not with the Suns at this point. Lucas Rod once more. Right place, right time. Where'd she come from?
Just great vision there to come off and defend that one from Randall.
There's Davis.
But to your point as well, Rubes, you'd love to see that as a coach. Like, Webster would encourage that so much from Fleming. We've seen it so often from her, that run and carry and bounce. And it just generates so much ball movement for him and so many more inside 50 opportunities.
Long and direct is the way the Hawks like to play. They're at it again. Contest in the middle. Birdley got that ball to ground level and then follows up once more. It's Keely Fullerton in her second game. Drives that ball to half forward. It bounced off the chest of Emily Everest. And now the Hawks want to change direction. Williamson's got some work to do, but she didn't see Oliver coming in off the bench. They surge it forward here, the Suns. Clayton, tucked away in the pocket, had her kick smothered. Ball's out of play. Lauren Wood, boundary side.
has a pretty handy back in. She's had a 3-game ban overturned for a heavy bump last week when they found it was no head-high contact. So she managed to win one over the tribunal this week, and obviously is in and amongst it pretty early. It was a lengthy hearing too, an hour and a half. So clearly wasn't exhausted by it though, because she's getting plenty of it.
And Tamara Smith is another one, a key plank of that defensive unit of the Hawks. Good opportunity here for the Suns. Rowbottom's hands stolen away by Gilroy. Bates was almost through. If you're the Suns, are you happy to just try and slow this down for the last minute 40 of the quarter?
I think you are. I think you want the ball to have a bit of control on it from a Gold Coast point of view, bit of kick mark game, wind it down, get some rest, because we know Hawthorn like to move it quickly, like the ball to be in motion. So from a Gold Coast point of view, slow it down, try and get a deep inside 50 opportunity or entry and have a shot on goal in this last little minute and a half.
Gilroy kicks it straight up and down in the mine shaft into the middle. Tricky one to try and work out the flight of. The Suns absorb a little bit more time. Right in the middle of Kinetic Stadium. West got the clearance away, and then foot just forgot to lay contact with the ball in the end. It's a sling on Rowbottom.
We'll have a look here. Great job to hold on to her, but it was just that last motion, held onto her arm and down onto the floor, but she's up and about, she's all good.
Daisy Darcy gives away a push, and Williamson, who kicked a goal in the midway point of this first quarter. Here's Bodie, who's almost away. Looks like Wallace Randall's running next to her to start the game.
I'd argue it's pretty hard to tackle Charlie Rowbottom without slinging anything. I'm not sure if she starts to the ground otherwise. Just thinking back at that tackle.
Well, speaking, she will appear. There is Rowbottom. Kick out into space. Smith will be first there. She's got Taya Oliver alongside her, the Suns' 5th debutant of this AFLW season. It's kept in play. Smart, Darcy. There's still time for the Suns if they're good enough. And Fleming couldn't take it away. Williamson wrapped up. Quarter time here at Kinetic Park. It is the Hawks 2-2-14 who lead the Gold Coast Suns 1 straight 6. And it'll be the Hawks kicking with the aid of the breeze in this second quarter. Wednesday night footy. Second quarter's not too far away.
The new iPhone 16 Pro is here. Get yours for $0 when you stay connected for 36 months to our $79 plan and trade in an eligible device. From the best provider of iPhone plans, Vodafone.
Honey?
We'll be on one salary.
It's not too much of a stretch.
Maybe just leave it, honey. It's all right. You've got this. Let's get this cot home. We probably don't need all these baby clothes.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB, more than money.
When muscle cramps hit, don't let it hold you back. Find relief with Blackmore's Super Magnesium Plus from Chemist Warehouse. Each 1-a-day dose contains easily absorbed forms of magnesium to help reduce muscle cramps, tension and stiffness when dietary intake is inadequate. Get back in the game with Blackmore's. You'll find Blackmore's Super Magnesium Plus 200 tablets, half price right now at Chemist Warehouse. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less and living more. You're fueled up and ready to go. eating better, and getting great results. Feeling healthy and loving life. It's food that fits your life. It's food that's made for you.
It's the biggest test series of the year, and thanks to Western Union, you could be watching it from the best seats in the house. Win double passes to see India take on Australia from a corporate box in Melbourne or Sydney. To enter, just transfer $1,500 or more with Western Union. Each eligible transfer before November 2nd gives you another entry into the draw. These seats are fabulous, and I'll be popping in to join you. Visit westernunion.com for more.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow.
What you think about?
Get off of me. Almost done.
Almost done what?
This is what I'm talking about.
Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die?
She's coming with us.
No, she's not.
Oh, yes.
You really are God's perfect idiot, aren't you?
The answer is yes.
Get a 3.9% finance rate on the Navara Dual Cab 4x4 pickup range when you finance with Nissan. Plus, get a Navara SL Dual Cab 4x4 pickup auto from $49,990 drive away. Get into your Nissan dealer today.
Wherever adventure takes you, lead the way. It's not where you go, it's how you show up. Let the memories define you. The best is yet to come. Master your summer, master your style. Peter Jackson.
Jim got MYOB for $5 a month. Automating admin for better work-life balance. Now sparks are flying with his wife Dee at John's cooking class. And morning tea is magnifique.
They're fast. They're powerful. They're rewriting the Aussie rules. And we're proud to back them. Medibank, super fans of the AFLW.
Quarter time on Wednesday night footy. It's the Hawks who lead by 8 points over the Gold Coast Suns. Suns kicked the first goal of the game, and then Hawthorn finished off the quarter strong, and there's a nice breeze that they'll be working with in the second quarter as well. On a special night for the Hawks, their first ever Beyond Blue mental health match. It's a cause that they've spoken a lot about and means a lot to them, and it's great to have a wonderful crowd here at Kinetic Park in Frankston for this game as well. Ruby Slisher, Ali Blackburn. What do we like from that first quarter?
Well, I think the Hawks mids are working really hard. We look at the stats here. Eliza West is really driving it. 7 disposals, 5 contested possessions. Jazz Fleming is one who's really impressed. And I was just thinking about it. It's pretty scary when you think of the Hawks that Jazz Fleming comes off the bench for them. That's how strong their midfield is.
Let's get over to Lauren Wood.
Thanks very much, Jack. Here with Daniel Webster, the coach of the Hawks. Obviously, it was a little bit of a slog there early, but you managed to kick away.
Yeah, it was a good start. I mean, going in breeze there was a bit tricky, but yeah, I thought the longer the quarter won, the better we looked.
I know you're in the hot seat today, but you're still a footy fan like the rest of us. Emily Bates v Charlie Rowbottom at times. Are you enjoying it just like us?
Oh, absolutely. Rowbottom's a great player, and so is Batesy, so it's good to see them, go out in the middle.
Obviously get the win back on your favour now. Hopefully you can capitalise.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we cost ourselves a few there, and a bit, some of our decision-making skill execution was upstanding, so hopefully we can pick that up this quarter.
There you go. You've put them on notice. Get back up there and good luck for the rest of it.
Cheers, thank you.
Bates and Rowbottom, Ellie, kind of drawn to that matchup, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I'm really enjoying those two going head-to-head. Bates up to the 5 disposals and Charlie is on 7.
There's Eliza West who starts next to Rowbottom for this quarter. Here's Emily Bates. Lucy Singles got her. So what about kicking with the breeze? If we think that it is strong to the left of the screen, which the Hawks are kicking to in this quarter, how important is it to not just bomb away?
Well, it's really important. And from Hawthorn's point of view, we know how much they love to push up their high forwards to the contest and then almost spurt out the back, allowing their speed to go out the back. So for them, they don't want those long, big kicks that sort of trickle out of bounds. So something they just need to pull the trigger on or sort of pull back on their kicks as such. Branko Tassano
can't get that ball away. To see some of the surrounding palm trees here at Frankston starting to get pretty blowy.
We know Half likes to talk about the ponytails as well too, so a few of those are flowing to the left of screen.
Can't help you there, unfortunately. Breed gave a little push, but Rowbottom too strong. Kicks from defensive 50, but it's not far away from there. Single back to Rowbottom, and now Darcy. And I like her using the ball from half-back. And Fullerton in the helmet, playing game number 2. And keep it. Lucas Rod in tight. Bates running out of room. It takes 2 to bring her to ground. Nice work from Keevat and Branka Asana.
Well, that was nice movement. It was an interesting kick there by Darcy, but I mean, that was great ball movement and a win for them to hold this ball up here.
Lauren Bella had to be quick. The handball put Keevat under pressure. And the Suns are running out of space, but Single had her kick smothered. And defensive work from Wales.
Well, the Suns are starting to use their hands a little more out of stoppage, which I'm really liking. They've got that representation behind the stoppage, and Charlie Rowbottom's really drawing that. We saw that beautiful pick up and give right off the ground. Doesn't give the Hawks midfielders time to press and hopefully get a little bit more forward ascendancy.
Wales tapped it down to herself and then rolls a dangerous ball inside forward 50. And Bates is claiming that as a mark. Umpire said play on. So that's what she was forced to do. Clever tap on from Bodie. To West in the pocket, tough angle. And it's helped through for a rush behind.
Can't believe Bates was trying to claim that as a mark. Didn't go very far. But geez, that was smart then by Bodie. The tap over the top to West. Wasn't quite able to finish off the work, but I mean, just a crafty piece of play then.
Here's Cam Joyce, coach of the Gold Coast Suns. Coaching down from the bench tonight. No Claudia Whitford for Gold Coast, missing this game with concussion. Katie Lynch also not playing for them again tonight.
That hurts them as well. Katie Lynch, All-Australian last year, Ellie for your Dogs at the time. Really came into her own in that defence last year.
Matea Breed breaks away, but sprays that ball out of bounds. And then I guess the other part of that too, Rubes, for a midfield that is a little bit short on depth for Gold Coast Suns, to take Claudia Whitford out tonight really hurts them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just means that Lucy Single and Charlie Rowbottom are going to have to be prepared to be playing more minutes and have more of that load on their shoulders, which I think, to be fair, those two, that they probably can cope. I do think that they're able to come up to the expectations that they have been held to by the league.
Jamie Stanton, a long way from home. And her handball intercepted. And Gilroy works the left foot ball back into a dangerous area. Bodie's lurking. Couldn't take the ball away cleanly. Nice work from Clayton. They bumped off it. Here's Ashmore taken to the boundary line, and Georgia Clayton a bit slow to get up.
Just a tackle here by Batesy. Just head on the back of the head on the ground, which is never fun. But she's up and going, so.
Coming off an 18-point win last week over the Cats, Hawthorn. Very impressive performance against the Geelong outfit, who have been playing some good footy this year themselves. Meanwhile, the Suns went down by 3 points to your Pies. Ruby, what did you learn from playing against them last week?
Oh, look, again, we've spoken about their midfield a lot, but just their ability, their centre clearance work, their stoppage work, matched up on Rowbottom a few times, so got to feel firsthand the power of the bottom. Yeah, no, she's incredible, but they're a really well-oiled machine in there. It's if they can get their forward and back half working, they can turn themselves into a really dangerous team.
Nice mark by the skipper, Bahana. The Suns haven't got a lot to work with ahead. They've all been busy defending. Davis just misses Stanton.
Yeah, they had numbers back in defence then, Hawthorn. Had an outnumber, so it was really tough for Gold Coast to get that one inside 50 then. Almost probably needed to hold it up a little bit longer, wait for some numbers to get back.
Beautiful switch for Lucas Rod. Best and fairest for the Hawks in season 7. A great kick of the ball. Releases Richardson. Kicks to half forward. The gather. Excellent from McDonough. Turns around and snaps towards goal. And a bounce. Went the complete wrong direction for what she was looking for.
Just Lucas Rod's third possession off that back line. We spoke about them pre-game and how damaging they are, but the Suns have actually been doing really well to pay close attention.
You see Anya McDonough. So dangerous, close to goal.
The one positive for Gold Coast throughout this quarter, though, is the 7 inside 50s to Hawthorn. We've none to their name, but haven't let them kick to goal yet or been too damaging on the scoreboard. So, I mean, for the time in forward half that Hawthorn have had, their defence have held up nicely. To make those scoring shots a little bit difficult, they haven't had a set shot on goal, and it's just been hard for them to find that easy one. But a kick out in the full offers a nice opportunity for Hawthorn, though.
It's a little freebie for Ashmore. No one stood the mark from the pocket. Kicks it across the face. And another minor score.
That's a lot of heat for the Suns. 82% time in forward half was the stat we saw on screen just before. So hopefully they can find a mark here. We can see a lot of players just getting ready to go down the line. But I'd like to see the defenders working hard to try and create a mark.
Well, Darcy decided to play the corridor this time, and the Hawks were all queued up waiting for it. Jenna Richardson kept the ball low coming in. Rowbottom more careful this time around.
Smart then by Rowbottom and good of Stanton as well to hold up the footy here.
That is an old-fashioned shiner that Jamie Stanton's sporting this week. West chops it off, calls for all of their forwards to head nice and deep. This ball's got just about out the back. Fitzpatrick waiting there on the last line.
Suns defenders holding up really well at the moment, just paying closer attention to the forwards, and it might be because the ball's not so much coming from the half-back line. We know the Hawks like to get up really high and get that ball over the back, but the Suns just holding back position at the moment, knowing that that ball's going to carry and not allowing them to get goal side.
Nice tackle by Vukic. Back into the team today. And here's Darcy for the Suns. The kick was absolutely perfect for Davis. No free kick.
Probably should have been.
Front on contact.
Yeah.
Another forward 50 entry for the Hawks. They kick long and catches a couple of hands on the way through.
So we see the front on here. Matea Breed absolutely should have been a free kick. No eyes for the ball and just gone for the body.
We've almost changed the way that they're moving the ball at the moment, Hawthorn. They're like the way they were going into the breeze, it probably made them lower their eyes a little bit more and have a little bit more run and carry and a bit of composure going inside 50, whereas at the moment it just feels a little bit rushed. They know they've got the breeze behind them, so want to get it deep into their forwards, but they might need to look for a little bit more kick mark opportunity, get a mark inside 50, get a bit of composure, kick a goal and build some momentum off the back of that.
So the Suns have got to the 10-minute mark of the quarter and haven't conceded a goal yet. So that's going to make Cam Joyce pretty happy. Fleming has a fumble. Single, spun 360. She got the full tour of Kinetic Park.
You might have cursed him here, Hev.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Shouldn't have said anything.
Cam Joyce is going to be over here having words for you. I reckon with this wind, a back Fleming in from here as well. Kicked her first AFLW goal last week, which felt a long time coming. She'll line up for a second.
And will be right on her distance from directly in front for career goal number 2. And it's third behind in the quarter.
Again, just an opportunity here for the Suns. They've been under a lot of pressure. If they can find a mark, the pockets are open. They just need players to lead into it and settle down the ball. If they can find a mark, it'll relieve a lot of pressure, slow the game down.
It's because they're going that long kick down the line, but they're just not quite setting up in the right position for it at the moment. I think the kick-in's coming a bit long and almost going over the heads of the talls, but you're right, Rubes. There is plenty of space in those pockets to find a bit of a mark. Even if they get a mark in the pocket, which is 20 metres out from goal, then it probably allows another kick where they go the long down the line, where it ends up 70 metres away from goal. Therefore, they can set up a little bit nicer with their defence.
Nice tap down from Japay. Blanketasano. Playing a second game of the season, a bit of a disrupted start with an ankle issue. Here's Bodie. Bursts away. And Fitzpatrick has been excellent.
That was great vision there by Fitzpatrick. Her opponent in McDonough has sort of turned her back and was hopeful that that ball went over the back, but it didn't. It was a great intercept mark there.
Daisy Darcy. 203 metres gain last week. Careful with a kick to Blanketasano. Drop the mark. And tries to clean it up at ground level.
Now, I know that mark was dropped, but when the Suns have looked better is when they are playing that chip mark game up the field. I know it's out of D50 there and a missed opportunity, but they have looked stronger.
Williamson handballs off to Lucas Rod. Falls just short.
And this is what that wing can do. It allows the half-backs, who are generally the longest kicks in your team, to be able to get forward, get attacking, as we see Lucas Rod having a shot on goal.
The Suns just cannot get the ball beyond halfway, particularly from these kick-ins. It's lived up Hawthorn's end of the ground. But if you're a Hawthorn supporter, they haven't quite got bang for buck.
At the moment, they're going very direct through the middle of the ground, which is risky against a team like Hawthorn as well. If you're the Suns and you want to go for that long kick, you want to be going closer to the boundary and try at least create a stoppage just outside 50.
Fleming paddled that ball to her advantage. Now tucked away in the pocket is Gilroy. Full of class.
Well, it was coming. I mean, they've had the 11 inside 50s in this second term, managed to kick a few behinds, and it started to get a bit predictable, the ball being on that side of the ground. It's just great work by Fleming to work hard to get it to the contest or get it more inside 50. And then a really good follow-up by Erdley to get the handball out wide to Gilroy, and we know how dangerous she can be around goal, and kicks the first for the quarter and third for the game.
7th goal of the season, and the Hawks' 3rd goal kicker of the night. They've got so many avenues to goal.
They do, but if you're Cameron Joyce with 3:51 on the clock to go, you're going with your team's going against the wind. You're pretty happy that that's the first goal of the quarter against a team like Hawthorn as well, who can pile it on so quickly.
I'd hate to give up another one, the Suns, particularly with half-time closing in. Bodie is lifted in quarter number 2. And Japay takes a good defensive mark.
Just dropped her behind the footy, try and halt the momentum. They've been under a lot of pressure, so put the tall forward, someone who reads the ball really well as a spare.
It's coming straight back in though. Gilroy hoists it as far and long as she possibly can. And that is 1 goal 5 for the quarter for the Hawks.
It'd just be so frustrating for him with the amount of opportunity that's coming inside 50. I mean, they'd be happy with the pressure that they're applying and the amount of entries that are coming, but I mean, it would be frustrating not to convert a few of those behinds into goals and put a bit more scoreboard pressure on this game.
So this time it's Wallace Randall kicking the ball in. It has been Darcy all game so far, but the plan is still the same. They stay on that outer side. Single, got her kick away quickly. Bella came in and put a fist through the ball.
And that was better by Bella. We need to see those forwards in that ruck come up and meet the ball in the flight rather than Hawthorn taking an intercept mark on the 50 if they can just create a contest.
Fleming turned back into trouble. And they continue to defend resolutely, the Suns. They've wound another minute off the clock. They've got it down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And Bodie. 4 Suns pile on top of her.
Good not to give away the free kick too then. Could have easily fallen into the back of Bodie, but got it to the side.
Dangerous in this situation, the Hawks.
Well, it's something the Hawks are really strong at, is blocking for their fast forwards like Gilroy. This is where she loves to see a goal opportunity.
Wales trying to create something. Here's Bodie.
And the dangerous thing right now for Gold Coast is they've almost got to lock it in this part of the ground and keep getting ball ups, because if they kick it out, Hawthorn have set up so well outside 50s, so they're more likely to take an intercept mark and probably have a better opportunity to have a shot on goal.
If they're getting the ball out, it needs to be through hands and driving their legs. If they're dump kicking, you've got 5 Hawks goal side of Gold Coast Suns at the moment.
This is hard work for Gold Coast, but they're just hanging in there. Desperate not to concede a late goal. They've managed to zap another minute off the clock. They're doing this the hard way. Wallace Randall tackled by West.
Sending plenty of numbers around the footy, which at this stage it's what you want to do. Just do not allow a goal in this last minute 24.
Well, every single Gold Coast player is within inside their defensive 50 at the moment. And they haven't had an inside 50 either for the quarter, so it's just lived in this part of the ground.
We just saw that time in forward half start, 92% Hawthorn, which is a massive number. Which is, again, credit to the Suns of how they've been able to hold up. And as we said, the Hawks will be disappointed. A team that can kick goals the way they do, they'll be pretty flat with that going into half-time.
They've almost got to half-time, the Suns, without giving one away. They've just got to hang on. Bates comes swarming through. Single got her.
It's good pressure here by Single to get the tackle. Almost unlucky not to get a free kick for holding the ball, but it's important they hold on for these last 50 seconds.
This time it's Clayton. Kicks a high ball towards the pocket. Talk about the physical side of what the Suns are doing, but what about the mental side of it too, Ali? The concentration, not to drop off even for a second and lose touch with your opponent.
Yeah, it's so important, that side of the game, because it's a matter of a moment that you could just drop off your opponent for half a second and just watch them get the footy and kick it inside or towards the goals, which is just beyond frustrating, that it's just that small moment in time.
Now, that was really clever by Jordan Membry. We saw her bring the ball out of 50. She looked like she was about to kick it, looked up, saw 3 Hawks defenders and opted to handball, and that created a stoppage outside of 50. Really well done.
A free kick here for holding the ball, so one last chance for Hawthorn. West from outside range, got too close to Rowbottom. Even Tara Bahana's back there to try and stop the bleeding late in the quarter. Lucy Wales is going to take a free kick, but the siren will sound. Does she have a torp in her?
Oof. You'd have to get onto it, wouldn't you? You're giving it a crack. What do you reckon, Nelly? This is you. You're bringing out a torp, or you drop punting? Oh, I've seen you kick one from 50.
I reckon a drop punt. You've got the breeze behind you. Aim for the right goalpost. Allow the wind to bring it back a little bit. I reckon if she sets it up nice and high enough, gets a bit of momentum behind this kick, could work in her favour here.
39 hit-outs last week. Was named in the Week 5 Team of the Week. This would be something very, very special. It's not going to have the distance. And the Suns spent the last 5 minutes defending, but they ticked the box. They did not give up a late goal, and they trail by 19 points at halftime.
Yeah, Cameron Joyce will be pretty happy with his Suns going into the rooms at the moment, and I think in turn, Dan Webster's going to be going in saying, girls, we've missed a lot of opportunities there. I think they are a side that would expect more of their forwards at this stage, showing their talent, showing their ability to kick goals and find teammates in better spots. So they'll be disappointed. I think Hawthorn, they have been able to make that gap slightly bigger, but I reckon there was a few missed opportunities in there.
And the Suns are coming off at half-time, and I know they've been doing some hard work, but some confidence for them as they head into the main break as well. 3-7 plays one straight here at Kinetic Park in Frankston as we get to Lauren Wood.
Thanks very much, Jack. Here with Aileen Gilly, as they're calling her in the outer, Gilroy. They really sat on you that quarter. It must be really frustrating because you had all the play.
Oh, not at all. I think that, we knew that they were very strong in the contest, and they still are like that. That's what they bring to this competition, is their contest. So I think that we need to go back and have a look at that and see how we're doing and see what the stats are at. But no, it's all about patience, and I think hopefully if we, against that breeze, we obviously scored, I think was it 2 goals in the first quarter. So yeah, we can do it again, and if not more. So yeah, we just have to stick to the game plan.
Very handy goal from yourself on the boundary down here at the beach end, and much like most of Melbourne, there's Irish everywhere. You had some support behind the goals. Must be nice.
Yeah, I'm convinced if you went to the moon, you'd find an Irish person there. But yeah, it's always so nice to come here and like in Frankston and have your local people here. It's great. Like, and seeing the Irish flag it means the world to us and Anya.
Fantastic. Get in there and sharpen up. We'll see you in the second half.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Hope everyone at home got a word of that. We're not sure we did here at the box. Gilly, you're a beauty.
Half-time in Frankston. It's the Hawks who lead by 19 points. Stick around. Plenty more to come.
All right, half-time here at Frankston Kinetic Stadium. And it's the Hawks 3-7-25 leading the Gold Coast Suns. 1 straight goal, 6. Of course, most of the goals came in that first quarter. Hawthorn, having the breeze in that quarter, could only manage to put on 1 goal, 5. The Suns couldn't score. But I tell you what, it's a strange old game, this one. Especially that quarter, the ball lived pretty much in the Hawks forward 50. It was just stoppage after stoppage after stoppage was that quarter. And that's what it was all about, that quarter. Not like what we're used to seeing, the open running type of style from the Hawks. Hopefully we'll see that in the third quarter. I'm sure we will. Let's go and have a look at some of the team stats, the player stats, I should say. And of course, Eliza West there for the Hawks leading the way on 14. 5 kicks, 9 handballs, 1 mark, 4 tackles. For the Gold Coast, Charlie Rowbottom, she leads the way also on 14. 7 and 7, 4 tackles. Daisy Darcy next best on 12. Manna Breed on 11. Of course, Jasmine Fleming there on 10. Let's go down. See your players' stats. Welcome in ET. Stay hunky. Bianca. Ryan. Egg King. Els. Halfwit. What's happening, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I hope you all had a fantastic day. We're still going into your day, your evening time now. Of course, this game started a little bit earlier than anticipated. This was a 5:15 start. Of course, we've got football on every night this week. It's fantastic. All night apart from Monday night. All right, let's have a look at the goal scorers. Of course, for the Hawks, we've got Michaela Williamson, Aine McDonough, and Aileen Gilroy. And of course, for the Suns, the only goal scorer, all single, of course, was Jacqueline Dupuy. There are your goal scorers. Let's have a little bit of a look at the team stats. I'll tell you what, it'd be interesting to see what the stoppage count would be, because the stoppage count was just off the charts in that quarter. As I said, the ball was probably 95% of the time in the Hawthorn forward 50. The Gold Coast Suns, their defence held up super, super well. They must be really happy with where they are. Only 19 points down, with kicking with the breeze in the third quarter. Hopefully they'll put on a couple of goals and make a real contest of this game. 111.89, 22 the Hawks in disposal count. It's just 18 kicks, 4 handballs. Just have a look at those inside 50s, folks. And it's half time. The Suns, they've only managed 5. Season average, 30. Well behind. Inside 50s for the Hawks, 21 for their 10 scoring shots. So they're going all right. It's just the ball is inside their forward 50 and it's just staying there that quarter. As I said, let's hope for a little bit more of a free-flowing game in the third quarter. Disposal efficiency, both a little bit low for both teams. 52-49 efficiency inside 50, 47-20. Gold Coast need to lift that up a little bit. Free kicks, 11-4. There we go. Hawks by 7 in the free kick department there. As I said, the Suns are doing all the defensive work, so they've actually probably done a good job, especially not to give away free kicks in the final 5 or 6 minutes of the second quarter. Hit-outs, the Suns by 3 there. The clearances, the Hawks well on top there, doubling the Suns 22-11. Centre clearances 2-zip to the Hawks. Stoppage clearances, the Hawks well on top in the clearance section. 64-47, the contested, uncontested, not too much difference there, 48-37. All right, folks, we'll head back down to the commentators. They'll give us their thoughts on the opening half.
To hold up pretty well, and this game's set up for a good second half.
It is, and we know the Suns have the wind this third quarter, so going to be really important for them to try and pile on that scoreboard pressure and make this gap a little smaller. But the Hawks, we know how damaging they are. I mean, 2 of their goals came against the wind in that first quarter. We know that wind has picked up slightly, but we heard Aileen Gilroy talk before the break. I think that's what she was doing, talking. But it basically came down, she said it herself, they know that Suns, their game is the contest, and at the moment, Hawks are winning that contest. The contested possession, 64 winning against the Hawks, against the Suns 47, and the clearance numbers as well, they're winning clearance. Hawthorn 22-11, so they're beating them at their own game at the moment, and then able to beat them on the outside as well.
Ali, there were patches in that the back end of that first quarter where it looked like Hawthorn were going to really get the game on their terms. What did the Suns do to stop that?
Yeah, they did, and we see it here with those marks out the back and the goal scored a bit closer to goal that Hawthorn are able to produce. But I think from Gold Coast's point of view, despite the ball staying in their defensive half most of that second term, I really like their body positioning from their defensive point of view. They were predictable to one another. They kept going out to the fat side of the ground to hold the game up a little bit and just created stoppages. They prevented Hawthorn's run and carry and deep inside 50 entries. So if they can continue that and then start to build some momentum off the back of their stoppage work, that'll allow them some more scoring opportunities.
We're watching 2 of the most exciting young midfielders in the competition tonight, Charlie Rowbottom of the Gold Coast Suns and Jazz Fleming of the Hawks.
Yeah, well, I've said it before, she reminds me of a pretty handy player that plays for Richmond. I'll let you guess which one. She might have won the league best and fairest last year. The way that she moves, I think, resembles Monconti a lot. And we look at her stats, 10 disposals, 4 score involvements. She's had a shot on goal herself. So and also 3 clearances to add to that as well, 158 metres gained. So she's just been so impressive, but she's so dynamic with her movement around the stoppage. She doesn't need a lot of space to be damaging. She creates her space on her own and gets it to her teammates in a better position.
It's Hawthorn who lead by 19 points at halftime. The third quarter is coming up next.
Welcome back to Kinetic Park in Frankston, where Hawthorn is currently leading at the Gold Coast Suns by 19 points at halftime. Gold Coast, of course, having stayed in town since their unfortunate loss to Collingwood on Friday. They've been in the headlines, of course, in the days gone by with this overturned goal from Jamie Stanton. The AFL releasing a statement in the days following that game that there unfortunately was an error with their ball tracking technology, which of course has been introduced for this season. They'll be looking to get themselves back on the winners list here today.
Nicely done, Loz. Ruby was just saying during the break there was no error.
Throwing me under the bus early here.
Well, unfortunately, it was a talking point from that game, but the Suns, Ali, now gets a kick with the breeze in this third quarter. What do they need to be doing differently?
I mean, this run and carry and, utilise their key forwards that they have. Jack Trapace started the game exceptionally well, and we know how dangerous Stanton can be around goal.
Bahana's tap-on was clever. Remember, he got a little kick forward. That's marked deep in defence by Ainsley Kemp.
She's been really solid for Hawthorn this season, hasn't she? Ainsley Kemp. Just reads the footy exceptionally well back there and a great intercept marker.
All of her season 9 numbers are up on career numbers. And in fact, a lot of the Hawks are all up career-wise versus season 9.
Well, I think sometimes it can be a system thing as well. When you're playing a really good system and a solid system and a coach comes in and figures out what he can work with in the way of his individual strengths, it can really complement not just 1 or 2, 3 of your best players on the ground, but everyone else on the ground as well, and everyone lifts because of that system. And I think it's a credit to Daniel Webster in the way that he's got these Hawks playing.
Tilly Lucas Rod. And the preferred ball users from halfback. They pump it to a contest. Fitzpatrick, been very important in defence for the Suns this evening. And turning back into trouble, getting on that left foot, McDonough. The Suns have got an outnumber, but that meant there was someone on the ground. Bahana over the top to Stanton. She slipped over at the crucial moment. And Everest tries to kick it as far away from defence as she can. Here's Tamara Smith. Took on the tackle and pays the price.
We know how dangerous of a tackler in terms of strength Lucy Single is and how good she is at that part of the game. Just good reward for effort there. It was nice initially by Hawthorn and how well they like to move the ball out of 50.
And Single sits it up in the breeze. It's there. Big goal for the Suns.
Well, it's a perfect start for the Suns, and you would have thought they would have gone inside at half-time, and Cameron Joyce would have said, righto, girls, time to put the Jets on and get on top early here. They've set themselves up really well that second quarter to be able to attack in this quarter, and just excellent pressure by Lucy Single. We know that's what she brings. 10 tackles last week, but a beautiful finish as well from 45 out.
What a season Lucy Single is having.
She is. She's initially been that tagger for Gold Coast, and I think it was part of Cameron Joyce's coaching is for her to run with some of the best mids and learn the running patterns and the way that they move. And now she's one of them. She's one of the key midfielders of the competition and gets rewarded with a goal there.
Big knock on by Bella. The Suns are lifting to start the third term. Membry was almost away.
I think Cameron Joyce would have been at half-time talking to the girls about keeping the ball moving forward and keeping it in live play, not allowing it to get close in tight where numbers and Hawthorn numbers in particular can make them hurt, because we know they are cleaner out of stoppage than the Suns at the moment. But you feel the Suns have upped their pressure, and that little sniff at goal from Lucy Single there, it can lift a team as well.
Daisy Darcy, disposal number 13. Wobbly left foot kick. Ball gets past everyone, including Stanton. The Hawks haven't completely dealt with it yet. Lucas Rod gave a really hot handball.
A few really good tackles early on inside 50. You love to see that as a forward line.
And that's a key part to Gold Coast's game, and how we know them to be is that they're just a strong tackling outfit.
Smith wrapped up. Rowbottom got her this time. The pressure in the first 4.5 minutes from the Gold Coast Suns has been as good as we've seen from them all season.
It really has been, and this is what generating some of their play at the moment and allowing them to keep this ball inside 50. You just love it from your small forwards, don't you? And just the midfielders are getting down, creating some pressure as well, and just generating a lot, and it's just good momentum builders for them.
Knocked on by Membry. Lucas Rod smothered. Wales jams it on the boot. There's a opposing ruck ballot. The Suns concede a little bit of ground. It's McLaughlin. And Bella bends down. Picks it up, and Hawthorn structured behind the ball, and Bates can just hold things up and try and slow the game down a little bit.
It was good from Batesy then to hold that play up a little bit too, because it was just a bit of chaos from their defence. It looked like they were out of position a little bit, so it allows them an opportunity now to reset.
Brilliant hands from Branko Tassano, releases Darcy, spears it low into the pocket. It's fisted out of bounds by Emily Everest.
Really looks like they've cleaned up their hands out of stoppage, the Suns, as we see that inside 50, but it came from the Branko Tassano hands out of that stoppage, and there's been a few moments in stoppage where Rowbottom and Single have been able to use that to get their teammates into space and have a better look going inside 50.
And 1 goal already this quarter for Gold Coast. They're searching for number 2 and to try and bridge the gap. West runs onto the ball. Lucas Rod tackled strongly. Keevan got her. They bounce back up, Lucas Rod, but very sore at the same time. Bodie. There's just no space available for Hawthorn right now. McLaughlin for the Suns. There's Lucas Rod.
Oh, they look pretty sore, don't they? Look at this massive hit, just crunching, and I think that's an element that Cameron Joyce would have spoken about midweek, is how important they are to their ball movement, because they are having to work for everything, but geez, they're sore at the moment.
The Suns are 18th in the competition for tackles for the season. They've lifted their rating in the third quarter. It started with Single. Clever hands for Darcy over the top to Clayton. Looking for DePay. Stanton couldn't access the ball with a rundown tackle. Excellent. They take the advantage through Fullerton, and perhaps they shouldn't have.
No, I don't think so. I think one of your leaders in Stanton has just earned to holding the ball. You know, how hot the game has been. You just want to go back, and you can see Stanton pretty filthy there, and understandably.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malice behind it or anything like that, but just some game sense and awareness. Probably needed a little bit more then, especially when you have a likely goal kicker in set and having a shot on goal.
Just a second game, Keely Fullerton.
Oh, in that case, she'll learn pretty quickly.
That's
it. She won't do it again.
Particularly when she sees the replay and sees the look Jamie Stanton gave her.
Scared the life out of her.
Just with that shiner too.
Yeah, oh, we've all been sprayed as 18-year-olds.
Bodie against the boundary line. More central kick for Wales. It's a strong mark in the pack. Hawthorn were away, but the ball's going to have to come back.
I don't think you can take an advantage off a mark, unfortunately, so prevents that quick ball movement, but a great mark down the line from Wales. This is a better build-up here by Hawthorn.
21-year-old Lucy Wales. Puts it towards Bates. He's got a couple of Suns to beat. One of them, Rowbottom, flips a handball over her head. Hawks wanted to throw. Smith forces her way through. Stanton the target on the wing. She's tackled immediately by Jenna Richardson as we get to Lauren Wood, boundary side.
Well, the pressure's certainly on, guys. The wind has definitely picked up, and the coach, Daniel Webster for Hawthorn, he's made his way quickly down from the bench. He's now down coaching here at ground level. He's had the headset on. He's right in there with the girls. So something's got to change, and it's obviously going to start with him.
Do you think perhaps he can just sense what's going on here, Ali, and that the Hawks are under the pump right now?
I would say so. I'd like to be able to deliver some direct messages to his players potentially. allows a bit more voice from the bench.
Japay high and long. Stanton tried to manoeuvre her opponent out. Another forward 50 stoppage for Gold Coast.
This is a bit of a late hit then from Breed. But again, it's Gold Coast. They're just looking dangerous every time they're going inside 50 at the moment in this third term. They'd love a little bit more reward for effort for the work that they're doing, but this is a much better third term by them.
We saw Tilly Lucas-Rod was taking some time after that heavy hit a couple of minutes ago. They'll be back out there soon. It's Fleming. Kick was touched. Mark was paid.
The kick was definitely touched, but not heard by the umpire.
And Gervin sends it back once more.
Plenty of numbers behind the footy for Hawthorn. You can sense they can feel that pressure's come up, and with that forward line pressure comes perceived pressure as well, and little mistakes can be made. I mean, we see there all the time in the world, you've got a supporting player there as well. We see Matea Breed here. Actually looked like when she gave that downfield free kick that she might have tweaked her ankle slightly jumping over the Suns player, so we'll keep an eye on her, hopefully just a strap-up job, but Hawks leaders need to step up and just settle the ship at the moment.
They are relentless at the moment, the Suns. They can sense an opportunity with this breeze. And particularly after Hawthorn didn't cash in on theirs. Is Matea Breed?
Oh, yeah. Ow. Stinger. Sometimes those ones you just need to run them off, got to keep them moving. And here could be an opportunity.
A Bates push row bottom in the back.
We know how much of a booming kick Charlie has. So we have a look at the replay there. Just a slight push in the back there coming from Western Bates. So takes a lot to get her down because she's so strong, but another great opportunity here for the Suns.
Has not kicked a goal this season. Charlie Rowbottom has done everything else for the Suns. That's not going to make the distance, and off hands.
Didn't quite give it enough. She's got more in the tank than that, Rowbottom. She definitely does. But I think was going for accuracy, just wanted to go it straight, but fell a little short.
Hawthorn try and learn from the Gold Coast Suns' mistakes of the second quarter. Clear the ball from defence, try and take it from one end of Kinetic Park to the other.
It was good by Hawthorn there. That's a win for them to get it to that part of the ground, especially with the breeze that's happening at the moment. They just quickly ran over to the far side of the ground and had multiple numbers. It was well covered by Gold Coast to cause the ball up here or the throw-in, but good movement by Hawthorn.
The throw-in goes right in the middle. Keevan fires out a handball to Fullerton, the two youngsters combining. Pace from Tamara Smith and Bodie chips a pass, but Gervin read it nicely coming in. It's been a handy inclusion to this team. Started the season a little later with a shoulder issue. It's had a good couple of weeks. And Fullerton kicks around the corner. Smith was there. Good body pressure from Stanton. Jenna Richardson, smart, careful use of the ball.
Great vision as well there from Richardson. Just a really good one there to hold the footy up, and really smart by Hitwell, just raises a hand and slows things down.
Kemp long, too long in fact for McDonald, who was out of position.
This is what Gold Coast have done well this quarter as well, is just being able to hold up nicely, get some numbers back behind the footy, prevent that quick play from Hawthorn.
The Suns had to go to plan B because plan A came undone. Gervin with the interception. Brilliant work from half-back. Japay strong. She can hold it up, or she can kick for territory and drive this as long as she possibly can from inside the centre square. Membry just has to have this footy sit. It didn't bounce up for it.
That was unfortunate there. It was a great kick inside 50 by Japay, but just needed to kick that one off the ground there. Just tried to pick it up. It was great pressure as well, coming in as well.
Almost just caught in two minds.
A little bit.
Jack Japay wasn't that far away either. Yes! Banging that one through from the centre square.
Nice rhyme, Jack. Jack Japay wasn't that far away.
I'm not going to claim it. It wasn't deliberate.
Oh, gosh.
Charlie Rowbottom looks towards Jamie Stanton. Another dangerous ball for Hawthorn's defenders. Fleming had gone past the ball. Had to go back and locate it. DePay burst through. Kicks out of bounds on the full.
I just want to touch on Charlie Rowbottom. 21 disposals, 20 of those contested. She is an absolute beast. 1 uncontested possession. That is an incredible stat. She is just a workhorse, and right on cue comes forward and she gets to have another crack from a distance that I think she has in her. Go back and have a crack.
Had a shot a couple of minutes ago. Left it a little short. This from the kickable part of the ground. If she slots this through, it's a 4-point game as we head towards three-quarter time. Bahana to pay in front. Take your pick. The Gold Coast Suns, tall timber. Big mark in the goal square.
Yes, that's a huge mark there by Trapay. We know how strong she is overhead. And this has been promising signs for Gold Coast here. A really big opportunity to kick the goal.
She thought she was going to line up from directly in front.
She's gone back a long way too for a snap.
Important moment for the Suns. Jack Tapay delivers.
Well, it's well done. It had to be either Bahana or Tapay, and we see this big pack mark here. Just well done by Tapay. Only one Hawthorn defender ended up flying against the 2 Suns talls. Did well to bring it down, and just a lovely little check side finish. No problem at all. Saw it through beautifully. And that's great reward for effort for the Suns. They brought the heat really early on. They set the tone with the defensive pressure, and now they're rewarded.
And that comes from the relentless pressure that they've shown in this quarter. Hawthorn haven't had an inside 50 for this third term. And Gold Coast have had 10, so the ball's lived in their forward half and their forward 50 in particular.
We tick past 17 minutes in the third quarter. Still time for Gold Coast. Ball bounces in front of Tay of Oliver. And Fullerton. There's a little fumble. And Ashmore caught up with her. And a free kick for a hold.
They'll want to go here, the Suns. Late in the quarter, try and make the most of the wind.
Keely Fullerton pops it up to Pay almost. Strong from Darcy in from the side. Richardson at fullback. The kick is out in front of Keevan.
Clever by Richardson. Just a bit of a mongrel kick out into space. Allow their midfielders to try and get onto it, create a stoppage. Doesn't need to be pretty, just get it out of there. Don't kick it back into the density.
Bella and Wales continue their battle. It's been a good one in the ruck. Williamson bends down, picks it up. Handball to West, who's so clean below her knees. It's back into the corridor. Gilroy's had a quiet third quarter, but she's away now. Tucks it under the arm and has a bounce. The Sharon didn't come back. And Lucy Single tracks her down.
And I'm not sure she's entirely sure about the rule. I think she thought it was holding without the ball. She wasn't too happy that she was caught. But we see here, tried to bounce it, tried to keep it going, but bounce the ball, get held onto, holding the ball every day.
And that's tackle number 8 for Lucy Single as well. Her pressure's been immense throughout the course of this game.
Last minute of the third quarter. The Hawks will be kicking with the breeze in the last, but they've got a Gold Coast Suns team coming at them full of confidence. They're not done yet. Gervin was good. Bahana tried to stand up in the tackle. Got the ball away, and Fleming. It's set up for a big finish at Kinetic Stadium. The Gold Coast Suns kicking the only 2 goals of that third quarter. And it's 4 points that separates Hawthorn and Gold Coast at three-quarter time.
All right. Three-quarter time. It's the Hawks by 4 points. That's the Gold Coast halves, not Brisbane. Two different sides. Howdy bar. That's it. I tell you what, I probably voted for Hawthorn most folks because Hawthorn are a pretty good unit. They are a good team, the AFLW. Hawthorn. Tell you what, it was a little bit like the second quarter. A lot of the ball did live down around the forward 50 of the Gold Coast. Hawthorn tried to take it out of their defence, run it down the line. They got to around about the forward 50. And then Gold Coast rebounded it back. It's just tough conditions in that breeze. Even with just a 4-point margin, I expect Hawthorn to go on and win this game. Unable to score. Well, there we go. That's a little bit of the story, isn't it, folks? The only score up the end the Gold Coast will kick now is Hawthorn the first quarter, 2-2. The second and third quarter, there was no scores against the breeze. All the scoring was with the breeze, and that's where Hawthorn will be going. Gold Coast looking, you know what, they're actually looking pretty good. They're pressing hard. They got the pressure on the Hawks really, really well. But it's still the Hawks by 4 points. All right, let's have a look at some of these stats here. Charlie Rowbottom there for the Gold Coast Suns. She's well out and truly on top. 22 disposals. She's having a cracker of a game there. She's a bit of a star there for the Gold Coast. 11 kicks, 11 handballs, 1 mark, 5 tackles. Eliza West there, best for the Hawthorn. 6 kicks, 11 handballs, 1 mark, 4 tackles. Let's roll on down a little bit. Jasmine Fleming there, just with the 12 for the Hawks. Mira Gervin, just 9 for the Gold Coast Suns. Let's go, Hawks. You got this. Don't give up. 15 Sweeney. How you going? Yeah, I think the Hawks should get it from here, as well as Gold Coast seem to be playing. One of the issues I have found watching this game at the moment, though, folks, neither side has really got that poise. Like lowering the eyes, searching for their open player. They just seem to be bombing it, and that's giving the opposition an easy out to spoil and regain possession of the ball and just run it out of the defensive part. Jacqueline Dupuy is the only multiple goal scorer there for the Gold Coast Suns on the ground with 2 goals from her 7 kicks. Michaela Williamson, Aine McDonough and Aileen Gilroy, the single goal scorers for the Hawks. And, of course, Lucy Single there, single goal scorer there for the Hawks. Let's just roll over and have a look at the team stats, where it's still the Hawks by 24 in disposals, 24 more kicks. Handballs all even now. You just want to try and get a little bit of distance, but going into the breeze, it's still nice to get that link-up handball and just get the run going, which is probably a little bit easier to ascertain the distance. Have a look at the inside 50s now, folks. It was around about 21-5, I think, at half-time. 21-18, as I said, that breeze is playing a big part in this match, and the free kicks are certainly even up as well. Actually, the Suns, 13-12, go ahead by one in that department. A couple of iffy free kicks there, but there we go. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Clearances, though, Hawks still on top in the clearances, centre clearances, stoppage clearances. Contested possession, Hawks a little bit stronger there, and in uncontested, I think this quarter they might open up a little bit, the Hawks. And of course, I'm pretty sure the ball will be living down their area a little bit more than last. As I said, it's pretty hard against the wind, and I think Gold Coast Suns are going to find it a little bit difficult in this final quarter. But they in there with a chance. They've given themselves a chance, kicking 2 goals, 3 in that third term and stopping the Hawks from scoring at all. But at the moment, three-quarter time, it's the Hawks by 4 points. We're going to head back down to the ground for the bounce, and they're going to take us into the final quarter.
opportunities. Their forwards look dangerous. They created so much, I guess, chaos in there and it allowed them to have those scoring shots. So they just need a little bit more of that to carry throughout this final term. And it could give them an opportunity to get their first win of the season, Rubes.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to come down to this first centre clearance as well. I think it's a good opportunity. Started in the centre, we're right in the middle, work it forward, try and get inside 50 first and have a ping. We know there's that 4 points there. Hawks have the wind. They've got to be careful here.
Let's get over to Lauren Wood.
Thanks, Jack. We've got Cam Joyce here, coach of Gold Coast, very animated there. What was the message? Because you've got all the momentum.
Yeah, look, we've given ourselves a chance, right? You know, we're 4 points down, three-quarter time, and that's what you want to do with your footy team every week. So I'm wrapped with how the girls are going in terms of their intensity and effort. And I think, you know, as I said, we've got to score, so we've got to be bold here.
And keep it going. Good luck.
Close loss last week for Gold Coast, 3 points, and a couple of weeks before that they had a draw in Canberra against the Giants. Now the close ones haven't gone their way to start the season. Is tonight the night for Cam Joyce and his team to sing the song for the first time in the season? What needs to be better from the Hawks in this last quarter, Rubes?
Well, we heard Joyce say it just then. Got to be bold with their ball movement.
This is a better start for them. McDonough, little handballs, it rolls towards goal. A good tackle late.
I think it comes from composure, back to your question, Jack. I think if they just bomb it into the Hawks' hands, they aren't going to be able to close this gap or take the lead. They need to think their way through it. So here, they've got a player in the pocket now. They've learnt from the second quarter, hit that player in the pocket and then go from there.
Jack Gunston, part of the Hawthorn coaching group for this AFLW season. Watching on tonight. They've had things pretty much their own way this season so far, the Hawks, but they're being pushed right now. Lucas Rod. Kemp, there's a long kick of the footy. That's a good one too. McDonough trying to find it. It bounced off her chest. It bounced off her head, off her shoulder. Couldn't quite drag it in. Daisy Darcy's been excellent. Paddles towards the boundary line and Gilroy sees that one there.
I have no doubt this will be shown in the vision during the week. They just need to keep generating that run and carry, though, Hawthorn, from their point of view. We know how dangerous they are when they look to switch the ball and get the ball in the hands of their good users in Fleming and Bates and Bodie, and we know how good Breed is as well. So these players need to keep sort of getting into really good spots and trying to generate some movement for him.
Mark not paid, but it worked out okay for the Suns. Clever kick from McLaughlin. Has the captain, Tara Bahana, into space. DePay's got it. She can kick the distance. She had Jamie Stanton and chose not to use her.
Myself and Ellie have our hands on our heads at the moment. I think it's a missed opportunity. You're against the wind. You've got Jamie Stanton by herself running goal side. If you're DePay, I mean, I love the confidence, but I'm not sure.
She's kicked two already, but this is into the teeth of a really, really tricky breeze. It's not that far away, but Hannah juggles it over the line.
You just can't help but feel, Ellie, that that's a pretty big missed opportunity when we know in the second quarter they weren't able to find inside 50 very often.
Yeah, it was a big missed opportunity, I would say, for Gold Coast, especially now if Hawthorn can get their ball movement on their terms here.
It's knocked on, nicely done by Everest. And Bodie runs away from Keevan, ended up kicking the belly of the Sharon. Charlotte Wilson and Breed at the bottom, and Wilson just caught Breed high. A few Gold Coast fans not happy. Bodie wastes no time. Gilroy went driving by, couldn't take the ball with her. Wilson had to be quick. Single. Some good tackling pressure, the Suns standing up for now.
It's good pressure there by Gold Coast. It's the momentum from the Hawthorn players running through some of these contests. When that ball got kicked inside 50 then, just well held up by them.
This West is one of them. Rowbottom has her all wrapped up.
Tackle number 8, or sorry, tackle number 9 for Charlie Rowbottom. Lucy Singles up to 11 herself as well. You know how hard those players work.
To go with 23 disposals for Charlie Rowbottom. Branka Tassano flipped that one over her head. Lucas Rod. Got boots of ball. McDonough's won another one in the head.
Again.
That's 2 now of Anya McDonough. Some of her teammates will have some fun with that.
Got a magnet on her head.
There it is.
Oh, no.
Boing.
Double whammy.
Unfortunate.
One Falcon's bad enough, 2 is just incredibly bad luck. West squeezes it through.
Well, I think something Eliza West is extremely good at is how quick she is boot to ball. She's a smooth mover around stoppage. As we see her here, just, you know, stay stuck to her opponent, holds on long enough to make sure they're not getting the ball, but then works off them at the right time, makes an impact off a smother, and there we see it on the left, chucks it on and just sends it sailing through. If you're the Suns, that really hurts. I think Suns just had an opportunity through to pay to get a goal there, and I think it should have been a goal. I think it should have gone over the top to Stanton, and it is a coach killer, and I think it kills a bit of momentum for them. But for them to Hawks to go back to their end and get that goal, I think that hurts for the Suns.
They've got it back out to 10 points, which is a little more manageable for them. But Rowbottom wins another centre clearance. Darcy, the left footer. Over the top for Clayton. And now Alamora. As Bahana's got a 1 out and the size advantage if they can kick it towards the captain. That's where they head, and she almost takes the mark. McLaughlin now tackled immediately.
Well, that was really good ball movement there by Gold Coast. Just really good composure. Didn't just bomb the ball inside 50 then in hope for it. They were well composed. Look for the outnumber. Allows them this opportunity here.
Fleming at the base of that pack.
A couple of repeat stoppages inside 50 as well. Allows them to set up, hopefully get some movement through this stoppage.
And tap down was almost there for Rowbottom. Japay's kicked 2 goals. It's the Hawks. They get it out of the defensive area. Single's been excellent again. Absorbs the first bump, then was tackled. Just couldn't quite break her way through the second, Lucy Single. The Hawks lead by 10 points. Big fly over the back from McDonough. Randall changes direction. Daisy Darcy. A little kick. Didn't really have a target in mind. As Gilroy bodied off. Suns continue to pressure. Membry, nice pick up. Handballs to Clayton. They're just doing it by metres at the moment, the Suns. And Laura Elliott. Back into the corridor, kick smothered. And McLaughlin darting around. Nice kick of the ball too. Out in front of Depay. Was these off it. Lucas Rod trying to make something happen for the Hawks. It's laborious for them. Fullerton on the turnover. This time Stanton gets a little bit of space. A rare opportunity tonight.
Geordie Membry's really impressed me the last couple minutes. I mean, she's had a pretty solid game, but her ability to just find the easy handball and to a teammate that's in a better position. She's had a few opportunities and it's actually sent the team inside 50. So she's having a really solid. We've seen it a couple times in the last couple minutes. So really standing up in this moment.
They need to kick the next one, Gold Coast. And stay in the hunt. Williamson didn't dispose of the ball. Play on was the call from the umpire. There's Wallace Randall in the long sleeves. Trying her hardest. Has been a pillar of their defence tonight. And free kick will go against Annabelle Keevan. Greta Bodie, 6 goals a couple of weeks ago against the Saints. Has had to go into the back half at times tonight just to try and shore up their defensive unit.
Well, this is probably a part of the Hawks ball movement we haven't seen a lot of tonight, and like you said earlier, they've been almost gotten a little trigger happy and just tried to go for that long bomb, where that game against the Saints and Geelong, they're really patient with their back half build up and get it to the wing once there's space on the wing, and then are able to go forward. So it's probably the first bit of patient build up in their back half that we've really seen.
Wasn't able to quite pay off for him on this occasion, but it looked better and allowed him to get a bit of a run and momentum. Fortunately, the ball went a little bit too wide and is going to come back at their defenders, but it's better movement there.
As West kicked the last goal, loved it too. And Gervin has had a pretty solid night at centre-half back.
Yeah, she has. It's mark number 4 for Gervin. Just holds her position really nicely, defensive for the Suns, and that's a great kick there as well out wide. Been really solid in defence tonight.
Davis for Rowbottom, who wore one in the face.
Cop that. Well, they need to make her work for it, because disposal 27 right there. 22 contested. She's been working for it all day, and she's shown up for her side.
She's got a little chilly in the last 15 minutes as well, so that would have smarted for Charlie Rowbottom. McLaughlin was almost through a gap. She'll always try and take the game on, and was thrown to the ground. And let's have another look here. Matea Breed with the tackle.
The head's all right. Arm went down first. Just that bit of the shoulder, but she's up and at them. They're tough, those Irish.
That's a turnover in the wrong part of town as well. Breed with a bounce in a second. McLaughlin chases after her, but Breed with a don't argue. She is strong. Fitzpatrick playing next to McDonough has done a pretty good job of keeping her compatriot quiet tonight.
So it was great defensive work there by the Suns, in particular by Fitzpatrick. It's a little bit of push and shove there, getting frustrations probably coming up a little bit there, but great work by the Suns to hold that one up.
How handy was that run and bounce, and then the tidy little fend off from Matea Breed as well. I mean, we spoke about her a little earlier, that she's one of the youngsters, the up-and-comings of this Hawks midfield, but I think we see little glimpses every game of what she's capable, and she's just so strong.
And hard, isn't she? Hard at the footy. Originally from the Northern Territory.
I think it's probably something too to Daniel Webster's coaching as well, is that could have easily been a rush kick into their forward line as well, but it's just that run and carry and that composure that we see from him.
Liza West is having a big fourth quarter. What another clearance there. Fellows in the pocket. Her kick away and it bounces out of bounds, but the Hawks keep it up their end of Kinetic Stadium.
I want to give props to the Suns' 2 tall defenders. It's been Fitzpatrick and what's the other one down there? Gervin. They've been really impressive against the 2 tall Hawks forwards. They've been working all day.
There's Gervin on cue to Rowbottom. Had to duck back inside. Snap not that far away from Erdley. The time's starting to become a factor for Gold Coast now. They'll need 2 goals.
Be tough to get it against this breeze as well. They just need to be a bit brave with their ball movement. Try and generate some run and carry.
Lucas Robb back on the ground.
Then I think in contrast for Hawthorn's point of view, I reckon they're a pretty smart team. They've got some mature leaders in their side that might look to just hold the ball in hand a little bit, take some time off the clock and try and win the game comfortably for the team.
That'll be a free kick. Gervin got straight into the back of Erdley.
So bit of a shove in the back there, unfortunately. But it's important here for Erdley to take her full 30 seconds, just wipe some time off the clock and just try and kick a goal and steady the lead for her side and try and get the win on the board again.
The first 2 goals of her career last week against the Cats. This is a thumping kick. It's just about there.
Decent effort from right on 50, so decent roost from her. I think it was Bohanna just got the touch to it, which is a decent effort from your full forward to get down there on the goal line.
A 12-point lead to Hawthorn. Less than 3 minutes remaining now. Williamson would love to kick a goal in front of her home fans. Hawks are still hunting after this ball. Bates thrown off. Eliza West not only won the free kick, but pretty happy to tell the Suns about it too.
Well, her pressure in her final term has been huge from Eliza West. She's already kicked a goal in this final quarter, but just really good pressure there just to lock that ball in and reward herself with a free kick.
It's Daisy Darcy just trying to not spill it out in the Hawks forward line, but laid flat.
That's not going to make the distance from West. In terms of the recruits for season 9, where does Eliza West stack up for best recruits from a Hawthorn point of view?
Oh, she's right up there. I think she's one of the best off-season recruits in the AFLW. Their ability to get her across out of that Melbourne side and the midfielder she's turned herself into and the value she gives this side, I think is probably right up there with the best of the off-season trades, I'd say.
You have to think Casey Sheriff was probably headed in the same direction before she got injured as well, Ali.
Yeah, she was, and thought she had an outstanding game, unfortunately, against Shaw Pies, Rubes, but she, unfortunately went down with an injury that game, but she was incredible for her first couple of games for Hawthorn as well.
And Bodie just left the scene, but Bates is never far from the action. There's some holding going on in the goal square. Ended up just being a good old-fashioned wrestle.
It's been some good one-on-one battles in the Hawks forward line, hasn't it? I think as defenders and forwards, they've matched up pretty well. I don't think one has completely gotten on top of the other. If anything, it's been the midfielders that have been able to get forward and do a bit more damage for Hawthorn.
Daisy Darcy can hold her head high. She's certainly tried her hardest, as has Charlie Rowbottom, but she's about to find out that the free kick's against her.
Pretty stiff there. Thought it might have been in the side, but as soon as you extend those arms and you're even slightly in the back, you're probably going to get called for it as we have a look. Oh, it's pretty in the back. Sorry, Rowbottom. I was on your side, but no.
At the last minute, Hawthorn are going to record a win, but it's one that they've had to do the hard way. Is there something in that for them, Ali? I mean, they've sort of had things exactly the way they've wanted it pretty much most of the season, Hawthorn, except for the Adelaide loss. Is there something in having to really grind one out like tonight?
Oh, I think so, and this has been a different win for them. As you said, they've really had to grind this game out so far, and they're going to get the win on the board, but it's just a different game where they've had many contributors across the board. I mean, Batesy's only had the 12 disposals, and we've known what she's been able to create. Fleming was really good early. We haven't seen much of her in this second half of footy, but West has really stood up for him. So it's been a tough contest for him throughout the course of the game, and one that they'll be able to reflect on quite well and know that they can win in different ways. So I think that's important for them moving forward.
2 of their next 3 games are here at Kinetic Stadium in Frankston. And a trip to the West on Sunday to take on the Dockers before that.
And the Dockers are in some good form at the moment as well, so that'll be a great match-up. Those 2 sides going at it.
Elliott runs to 50 metres out. One last look for Hawthorn. And the Gold Coast Suns gave themselves their chances tonight, but are still going to be winless in season 9.
I think they can hold their heads pretty high, Gold Coast. Hawthorn, I mean, speaking personally, I think they're the hardest team I've come up against this year, and Gold Coast have fought hard and had the game on their terms at various stages.
They bank another on the Hawks, but this was done the hard way. Winners by 13 points over the Gold Coast Suns, and they jump to second on the AFLW ladder.
Teamwork is the thing that talks. And for all that local ones, when we play it more, we are the mighty dogs.
They led at every change, Hawthorn, but it was the third quarter that really stunted them into life. The Gold Coast Suns came charging back, and it was just 4 points the difference at three-quarter time, and the Hawks record win number 5 from 6 games.
It was an important win for Hawthorn to get that one on the board. Eliza West had a huge final term. She got plenty of the footy, kicked a goal, her pressure was elite. Probably just puts them into a really nice spot now. Second spot this time of the year. I mean, they've been the up-and-coming team this season. I think between them and the likes of a Richmond, they've been exciting to watch, and this has been a tough win for them to fight it out against Gold Coast, but an important one for them in the context of the season.
We mentioned what's coming up for them on Sunday. They'll jump on the plane and head west to take on Fremantle at Fremantle Oval, and the next two back here at Kinetic Stadium. Lauren Wood is downstairs.
Thanks very much, Jack. And it had to be Eliza West, didn't it, after that final quarter? You didn't grow up too far from here, and geez, you looked right at home. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to get a win here at our home ground at Frankston. So I'm just glad the team were able to put together a strong fourth quarter. We knew we had the wind, and we just had to battle it out. It was a scrap the whole game, so really proud of the group for fighting the whole time.
It was a bit of a scrap, and they really came at you, particularly in that third quarter. You must be really, really pleased with you were really able to keep them at bay.
Yeah, they definitely brought it to us in the third quarter, and you could definitely feel the momentum. We knew they were going to bring it to us, especially having the win, so really happy that we were able to lock it down as much as we could, even though I reckon they had 85% in their forward half in that quarter, so yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the belief of this group, because obviously managed to stave off Geelong last week in what was a classic, really, and as I say, managed to keep them at bay today. You sit now second on the AFLW ladder, which is a nice position to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've got a lot of belief. I know we're a young group, a lot of new fresh faces, including myself, new coach. I think our pre-season was huge for building our culture, our values, and just building on them each week, and I think we really live by them. So really proud that we're able to start the season as we have, but we're just over halfway now, so we've got a long way to go. So it's about fighting those lapses where we have our rough, scrappy games, but to keep building and making sure we're better every week.
Well, we're right in the wind tunnel here, so get over with your teammates and sing that famous song.
Thank you. I want to say hi to Nana.
Good on you, Nana. Hope you enjoyed that one.
I want to say hi to Nana as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nana.
15th and 16th in their first two seasons, the Hawks. As we said now, they're second on the ladder, and they look headed for finals action for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for them, their first couple of years in the competition was pretty tough, and we spoke about how huge that lady there, Eliza West, has been as the recruit, but I think the development as well of, say, Jazz Fleming, the youngster, how crucial she is. Anya McDonough, how incredible she is, as we see them take the hockball selfie at the moment. It's become a bit of a thing across the league now for everyone, isn't it, the selfie? But I can't help but think hockball does it best. But I think it's the development of their list. They've just found a way and found a spot for every individual. Lucas Rod moving to the half-back line. They've rejuvenated Kate Ashmore's career on the wing. There's so many elements that has made this team great.
We love our club and we play to win. Running the box with every power. The club are made of kind of striving. City Rockies to be the top 4, 3, 2, 1. We're rolling up in one is where we play Hawthorn. We are the mighty bloody Hawthorn.
We were told when they started to assemble this list Give it some time. Let the draftees get comfortable at the level. We'll bring in some experience and it will all click. And I think we're seeing it click in season 9.
It has, and particularly with some positional changes as well. We've spoken about it a lot, and it's been highlighted across the course of this season with Lucas Rod being behind the footy and the way that they've been able to play this season and just the run and carry that they've been able to produce. And I think their midfielders are really coming to it. I'm really loving watching Jazz Fleming. I think her ball movement, her run and carry and dash and inside 50 entries are elite. And it's just, we haven't even spoken about Bates and Bodie and Gilroy and the like. So they've just got contributors across the board and I really like their game style.
And one of their stars is Tilly Lucas Rod, and they're with Lauren Wood.
They certainly are, Jack. It was just a magnificent performance from your outfit tonight. It had it all. It was a bit of a slog and you managed to run away with it in the end.
Yeah, it felt like a slog out there. We knew the Gold Coast were really strong at the contest and they proved that. They made it a really tough fight, but we're lucky to get away with the win, I think, in the end.
We were just having a chat with Westy about the belief in this group. It was an incredible rendition of the song, the fun with the selfie. It's all going swimmingly at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of confidence from our first couple games. We had the loss against Adelaide, but that taught us a lot. But yeah, there's a good confidence and good vibe. You can see even before the game, we're all like laughing, having fun as a group. So yeah, we kind of feed into that and get energy from that.
Really promising win last week and then another one tonight before you face the Dockers on the weekend. You're now second on the AFLW ladder. You've been part of this Hawthorn outfit basically since day dot, haven't you? And you could finally have a maiden finals berth within your grasp. It must feel really nice.
Yeah, it does feel nice. I mean, we're second now, but we're only halfway through the season, so we always say, keep it in check. We haven't achieved anything yet, but it would be nice to get to finals and keep getting wins on the board.
Typically diplomatic from you, well done. But it must be nice too, you're out of this compressed portion of the fixture now as well, so you can get that little bit of clear air, recover properly and push into the back end of the season.
Yeah, I think we've got the flight obviously to Perth and we get to spend a bit of extra time there, which is nice. The club planned that nicely. So once we get over the Dockers, I guess we'll really get into that recovery mode and kind of give our bodies a rest before the back end of the season.
Good luck over West, all the best, and hopefully you can stay up there right in the mix.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Lauren Wood with Tilly Lucas Rod, who's been such a key part of how it's all happening for them across half-back. So a win against Geelong, a win against the SUNS here, which was a physical one as well, is a good preparation for them as they start to head towards the back part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tilly touched on it there, that loss against Adelaide that they were pretty disappointed by, but I think that loss against Adelaide sets them up really nicely. I think they've played one of the best. We know Adelaide is and always has been one of the strongest teams in the competition, and nothing's changed this year, but they needed a taste of that. They needed to know, right, this is what we need to work on and really show, I guess, where in their game they can improve on, because often when you're winning, those little RFIs can go missing. Those room for improvements, they can be hidden by the wind. So sometimes you need that loss. They had that loss against the Crows, and now they're out here, showing one of the best AFLW games we've ever seen against Geelong, and then coming out here and doing it the hard way as well, Ellie.
Yeah, they've had to fight out so many wins in so many different ways, and they've had such a great run at it so far, and particularly today. It was a tough contest, and things might have been a little bit different potentially early in that final term with the Jack DePay mark at the top of the 50. She kicked it over the top to Stanton. That could have had a little bit more momentum going Gold Coast way, but through the likes of Eliza West and some of their senior players, were able to get things back on their terms and get a really strong win for their side, especially going into this game against Freo. I'm really excited for that contest. That'll be a great game. Two teams coming off the back of really important wins and just really important parts of their season looking to pursue finals.
And we talk about their depth. A couple of their major ball winners just slightly down, not off, but just slightly down. It's not the biggest afternoon for Jazz Fleming, Emily Bates as well. But then you get Matea Breed step up. You get Greta Bodie spend more time around the ball as well. And we mentioned Tilly Lucas Rod as well in the way that they played.
Exactly, and even from a wing point of view, you look at Williamson, she walks away with the 12 disposals. It didn't particularly go through Ashmore's side. She was only walked away with the 5 touches from the game, but I think it just shows the depth in their list at the moment and the amount of contributors that they have, that they're not relying on the Bates and the Flemings to just get the job done for, and they're relying on their whole team, which is really important when you are pushing for finals and wanting to be the team at the top end. We know, you look at Adelaide, for example, and you look at Ebony Marinoff and Anne Hatchard a lot of the time, but then you look through the remainder of their list and they've got so many contributors, and hence why they've been able to play finals footy for a long period of time. Same with Brisbane and North Melbourne, and Hawthorn are one of those teams that are coming to it and are starting to develop that kind of list where they can continue to pursue finals if they keep building these players.
Just on Emily Bates that we spoke about, Rubes, there are a couple of times in the game, particularly in that third quarter, where the Suns were really coming at them and Bates just got the ball in her hand and it showed leadership and just tried to show some composure.
Well, that's what good leaders do for sure, is just sense the moments of the game, sense the lulls, sense the highs, where the pressure's at, are we under pressure, and really control the team in that sense. And she was able to do that in a lot of elements of today's game when they were under pressure in D50, and she just marched the ball, settle the game down, take the 8 seconds and hit up a teammate. It's so valuable having that, and it's her first time in captaincy in the AFLW, and I really think she's thriving off of that opportunity. But talking about sharing the load across players, I mean, that's probably the next element for Gold Coast is, having more contributors across the ground. We know how good Rowbottom, Darcy, Single are, but can they get more contributors who are more consistent across the ground that can then help and support that midfield?
Midweek games to come in just a few moments. It's Essendon and Sydney at the Whitten Oval. The Swans have been absolutely smashed by injury. Ali Morfitt, the latest to go down for them for the season.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate to see Morfitt out. We know what she can produce on the football field, an All-Australian ruck, so they'll be missing the likes of her. And they've had some big outs over the last couple of weeks, so that'll be an interesting matchup with Essendon. And then, look forward to tomorrow night with all the midweek games and Melbourne and Giants at Icon Park again. That'll be two teams itching to get another win on the board. And later on the Friday night, Jack, you've got Adelaide and St Kilda.
They look very, very good, the Adelaide Crows. Anya McDonough is exciting. Every time the ball goes in her direction, we're just waiting for something to happen, including hitting her in the head, Anya McDonough.
Yeah, a couple times there. It was pretty hilarious. I mean, I'm sure... Sorry,
I'm not sure that she thought it was hilarious.
I am mates with Anya, so I can say it, but I'm sure we'll be giving her a little bit of crap for that off-field, and I'm sure her teammates will as well, for it not to happen once but twice in a matter of a couple of minutes. But she is just so dynamic, and we speak about players all across the ground filling roles. Her ability to hit the scoreboard, but also to have score involvements for her side has been incredible. She's so hard to man up on, whether it's deep in the goal square one-on-one or further up the field. I mean, I've just got stuck in my mind a play from the second quarter where she's picked it up and U-turned it and slapped it on the left boot, and she's just so hard to stop when she's up and going. And I think a really confident Anya McDonough goes a long way for this Hawthorn side, particularly if we see them in finals.
For Hawks fans watching tonight who couldn't get to the game at Kinetic Stadium in Frankston, they have 2 more games. They've got Fremantle on Sunday, as we mentioned, and then back-to-back Saturday games against the West Coast Eagles and GWS as well, and then Melbourne at Kazali Stadium to finish off before they head towards finals. For the Gold Coast Suns, they're back home on Sunday as they play host to Essendon, and then games against Brisbane and Sydney coming up in the next couple of weeks for them as well. Ali, Rubes, great to work with both of you. Good game of footy, this one.
It was a really, I guess, happy with the way Gold Coast attacked it, and Hawks are a good outfit. They would have learnt a lot from this matchup.
And a tough contest and a great night out at Frankston.
It certainly was. On behalf of our team, Lauren Wood, of course, as well, and our team behind the scenes who made it all happen for us tonight. Thanks so much for your company. Midweek footy is an absolute blast, and it's the Hawks winners tonight by 13 points. We'll catch you next time.
All right, there we go, folks. There we go. It was the Hawks too strong for Gold Coast. Of course, it was always going to be difficult in the last quarter with Gold Coast kicking into that breeze for 11:35. The Hawks defeating the Suns 3-4-22 by 15 points. I tell you what, they didn't kick real straight, the Hawks, did they? Just running through the players' stats there, if anyone wanted to have a little bit of a look. There we go, AFL pre-season. G'day, 1520. I said g'day, Banas, Addy G. What's up? Thanks, Taddy, for hanging in there. Let's just, there are your stats. Let's have a look at the goal scorers on the ground. Jacqueline Dupai was the leading goal scorer. That was for the Gold Coast Suns with 2. Of course, Lucy Single was the other goal scorer. Single for the Gold Coast. Williamson, West, and of course, McDonough and Gilroy were the goal scorers there for the Hawks. Just wrapping up with the team disposals, all pretty even there in the disposal count. Only 27 there going towards the Hawks. 25 in the kicks, but the Gold Coast led the way, 8 with the handball. Inside 50s, as you can see, Hawks all the way in that final quarter, just with the Breeze assist. Of course, disposal efficiency pretty even. A little bit different in the inside 50. Hawks a little bit better there by 17%. Free kicks, well, pretty even there, 18 to 15. Hitouts, the Suns dominated there, but to no advantage because the Hawks had the clearance well and truly in hand there through clearance, centre clearance and stoppage clearances. Contested possession, Hawks a bit harder at the ball. Well, I tell you what, you can't write off the Suns. They were pretty good. You know what? They did all right, the Gold Coast Suns. I think if you're a Gold Coast Suns supporter, you'd be pretty happy with the way they performed tonight against a good unit, good outfit in Hawthorn. Although it was quite a scrappy game, we couldn't really get to see much of that run-on flow action, just with the wind about, just made it all tough. And it was quite congested within the play and a lot of stoppages all the way around. All right, there we go. Just to recap that poll we had tonight, we had 80% of the folks say Hawthorn will win tonight's match. And we got that right. Well done, everybody. We got that right. Spot on. Is there another match on? Is there another match on? I'm not sure. If there's another match on, we will go to the next match in just a moment. It is Wednesday. My gosh, I was thinking it's Tuesday. All right, folks, that's all I got for this one. We're heading on into the next game, which is going to be Sydney Swans taking on Essendon. Should be a cracker of a game. All right, until next time, ciao for now. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at the next game.